Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper, and today, guys, we're going to be talking about DLC 5. Now, before we click off this video, this is the only DLC 5 video I'm going to make without having, solid proof from Treyarch or an announcement from them about these map packs. So, I did want to kind of give my opinion on this a little bit and kind of talk about what's going on, what we know, and everything like that so far. So, basically, if you guys do enjoy this video, or if you find this interesting, make sure to leave a like on it before we get started. And you guys are probably going to ask me the question, do I believe that there is a DLC 5, or do I believe that we're going to be getting new maps specifically for zombies? And I'm going to tell you guys, yes, I do. Now, this is very similar to what happened a couple years ago with Black Ops 2. Everybody thought there was going to be a 5th DLC, the way that they were dropping microtransactions and things like that. They thought that they were preparing for something maybe a little bit bigger, and there was like images that we thought could have been for like a 5th DLC pack or whatever. It never really happened. Nothing really came out of it or didn't come to be. But now, I think Black Ops 3 is a little bit different. And I'm sure you like 99% of you guys are aware of all the rumors that have been going around about this 5th DLC pack, including a remake of Moon, Mob of the Dead Origins, and Ascension. Now, basically, what I want to make very clear right now is that there is a huge difference between a remake and a remaster. Let me explain. A remaster is taking the original bare bones game of exactly how it was, but just going over it with better graphics, literally changing nothing about the gameplay, no differences whatsoever besides graphical upgrades. A remake, however, is, you would actually change core functionalities of the game. It would still be like, take a zombies map for example, you could still have the exact same zombies map, maybe throw in a couple new characters, maybe a couple new weapons. That is a remake. Like, the Giant is not necessarily a remastered version of the Doris, but rather a remake. With that being said, people saying that this March remaster thing that Call of Duty has been putting on their social media and in regards to zombies maps, I think is false. I don't think that's included for Black Ops 3 zombies in any way whatsoever, just because if they're gonna redo the zombies maps, I think they're gonna be remakes rather than remasters, and I'm gonna tell you guys exactly why. This is where I do believe some of the rumors about specifically the Mob of the Dead remake that people have been talking about and the storyline regarding it, and that's also backed up by this picture right here that we saw in the Call of Duty Zombies comics of our Origins characters going to Alcatraz. Now, take this for example. We go and get a Mob of the Dead remake, right, but with our Origins characters. That is no longer a remaster if we're not playing as the same people, right? This map would do very well as a remake, because if we're playing as our Origins characters, this would perfectly explain how we got the blood vials and zombies, which is just something that was kind of teased in the maps and never really was fleshed out in the story a whole lot. And it would make sense if we have a slightly different Easter egg to do that would show us how we actually ended up getting the blood. It makes perfect sense, and that's why I do believe that this could be a thing. Now, in regards to the other maps that are supposed to be remade, like Ascension and Moon and things like that, I can kind of justify the story in my mind, if we actually had these remade with a little different Easter egg, but it's hard to do than the Mob of the Dead one. I'm not saying it's impossible or like it would never happen, but for me anyway, in my mind, it's like hard to think about why they would remake those maps specifically. Like, it would make sense with Gersh with Ascension, and then with Moon, this could be like the perspective while we're under Eisendrock. Does that make sense? See, I literally have no idea if that's even true at all. That's just pure speculation. The Mob of the Dead one, I think I could say for like 100% fact that that's what we'd be doing if we got a remake of that. But the other maps, I'm not really too sure. I know they would do something with it, and they could possibly introduce some new story elements, which would definitely be very, very cool. Now, you guys remember a couple months ago for the Christmas live stream that Treyarch did, and they're going to be talking about what they're doing in 2017 with Black Ops 3. They did explain that they have a lot of player bases that are active right now. They have on a Modern Warfare Remastered, Infinite Warfare, and even a good selection on Black Ops 3. So they're going to continue to support the game. The multiplayer is getting new weapons pretty much constantly, but zombies, the only new thing we've gotten is Newton's Cookbook, and I believe this is because they're saving the big stuff for later on. Now, multiplayer, guys, I can tell you right now for a fact on Black Ops 3 is not getting any new maps. This would completely destroy the lobbies. Like, this would break them up even more, and it would completely dilute the player base more than it already is now. But zombies is a little bit different, right? They're going to be pretty much infinite amount of zombies maps, and people are still able to play them and enjoy them as much, as long as, even if they were the only one playing them. So with that said, it wouldn't be too crazy for Treyarch to drop like a whole lot of maps at once. If we got 4 maps literally all at the same time, that would definitely saturate zombies. Like, we would have a lot of content to play rather than it being spread out, but it wouldn't really affect zombies in a negative way in terms of like lobby balancing or playing with randoms or whatever, because you can play solo. You can just link up with like 1 or 2 friends and play a zombies map. That doesn't really change it a whole lot. Now, that is kind of backed up by the fact in my mind that if they were going to spread these maps out throughout 2017 and throughout this year, we would have already had probably at least one drop. I mean, it is already kind of like mid-March, so we probably would have had an announcement, at least one coming out. Let's say we're getting the 4 that we expect to, right? Ascension, Moon, Mob of the Dead, and Origins Remade, right? I think we would have at least had one map on disc right now, or like one map to download. And the fact that we've had nothing officially like confirmed from Treyarch, no announcements or anything like that, makes me think it's going to be a zombies only map pack, right? They're all going to come out at once. Now, speaking of which, speaking of a map pack, how much is this thing going to cost? Now, this will not be covered under the season pass because that is agreed to only cover for map packs, right? And these were the multiplayer ones that were agreed to at the beginning of the game. But they can still continue to sell DLC on the game or add-ons, but they can charge it literally whatever they want. So I was thinking about this, and what would this map pack cost if we had 4 maps like this? Throughout Call of Duty's DLC season history, each zombies map in a map pack has been valued at around $5 US. So if we do some simple math here, 4 times 5 is 20. So we're looking at, if we have a DLC 5 with a zombies only map pack, for it to be about $20 US. And again, that's not covered under the season pass. Now, I know I'm going to have people complaining in the comments and crying in this section saying that, oh, I'm not paying $20 for maps that I've already played and that I already have. Number one, I think these are going to be remakes, and that's kind of going back to what I said earlier about brand new content. There's going to be new stuff to discover within those maps. And also, just because you've played the maps does not mean everybody else has. Like, some people just jumped into zombies with Black Ops 3 and have not played any of the older maps. So you can't just assume that just because you've played some of the older maps that everybody else has experienced those as well. And I think $20 is also a fair price for 4 zombies maps, and how much replay value that you get out of these maps is honestly probably valued, at least in my mind anyway, like over $40. Like the amount that I play zombies anyway, and how much I would use these maps, I would gladly pay more than $20 for, but I'm not going to, and I don't think they would price it any more than that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the video that I'm sure you guys have... Shut up. Anyways, I'm sure you guys have seen videos from countless YouTubers talking about how they have like some sort of inside information from people at Treyarch and that they've told them about these maps that are coming, but they can't say their source and they can't give the information because it could put somebody at risk. Now, whenever I hear something like that, it automatically puts red flags up in my mind, and I tend not to believe these. That's why I didn't really want to cover it when it actually became a thing. Number one, I don't have the source. I don't know anybody who directly does have the source, and I really just don't believe it in general. But that's not to say what they're putting out there and what they're claiming is entirely inaccurate. This doesn't mean that I completely disregard anything they're saying. It's just that I take what they're putting out there with a grain of salt, and you guys should do the same as well. Don't take anybody's opinion just for fact, including mine. You guys can make the own decision for yourself, and I'm just here to present to you what I think about this, and you guys can let me know your opinions on my opinion in the comment section down below. But this is kind of all we know for DLC 5 right now, and hopefully we get some information from Treyarch about this soon to kind of put the community's rumors and stuff like that to rest, because it's already March. We haven't had any announcement yet, so it is a little bit concerning, but regardless, I hope they do something soon, but I guess we'll find out. But anyway, guys, that is going to be pretty much it for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it, guys, and also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll keep you up to date with anything regarding DLC 5. You guys know that'll be here quickly on the channel just as soon as it drops. So anyway, guys, thank you everybody so much for watching again. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.